Well, hello and welcome to Magnolia State Weather. You see, we got a lovely little setup here, and I'm actually going to show that to y'all after I get done with this little live stream. But we're ready for any severe weather that could happen across the state of Mississippi and the Florida parishes of Louisiana tonight. Overall, I'm not too worried about this event, but let's take a look and see what the weather's giving us for right now. So, to start, a slight risk for severe weather starting up towards Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and Michigan. But overall, a marginal risk this green area all the way through the Mississippi Valley and down through Texas. And so that includes most of the state of Mississippi. And if we look at it here, you'll see that actually the marginal risk for severe weather has been extended down even farther into South Mississippi, all the way down to Hattiesburg. Overall, yes, it is a marginal risk for severe weather, so you need to be ready for it. But overall, I don't think this system looks all too potent for us here across the Magnolia State. And so that's what we look at for that. But the only risk with this storm is a 5% damaging wind risk. We're not seeing any tornado risk, no hail risk, simply just the risk of damaging winds. And so what are severe winds? Well, that's going to be winds over 50 knots is the technical definition, which is 58 miles per hour. And so really you're going to get a warning for about 60-mile-an-hour winds if you're going to get a severe thunderstorm warning for winds. And so that's where we sit at across the area. Only a wind risk tonight. You can see tornado outlook, nothing on it. And the same thing is there for the severe hail outlook. So only a severe wind risk tonight across Mississippi. So just bear with me playing around with the setup we currently have. Once again, not back in Starville right now, so not my normal streaming setup. But here's where we're sitting right now. Plenty of storms and maybe a few thunderstorms in Mississippi up towards Tupelo, but overall rain spanning all the way down to Yazoo City and to Jackson. Some scattered showers across the Magnolia State today. None of these expecting to become severe, but overall you can see that marginal risk for severe weather. And I want to just zoom it out real quick to see where that line is. And so that line for what we're going to see come into the Magnolia State tonight is over here in Texas. And so that line has basically maybe made it to Shreveport, about to make it to Shreveport right now. This is my main area of concern. I honestly think these storms up in North Mississippi, up towards Tupelo and Oxford, have actually taken away a lot of the instability in the atmosphere. And so really, I think the risk for North Mississippi is is lower than South Mississippi tonight. And so that's where we're sitting with that. And so, like I said, I'm not too worried about these storms moving through the night. Right now, we only have a flash flood warning in Texas right now, just to the east of Tyler, Texas. But overall, that line has reached maybe Shreveport. So we'll start dealing with those tonight. And so we'll get into timing here in just a second when we look at the models. But basically, all I can tell you is like this is not something that I really think is going to need a big live stream for. I'll be live if some stuff starts getting hairy, but I'm not too worried with this system. I'm not going to sit here and tell you need to watch all night because I don't think it's one of those systems. But anyways, we'll go back to Pivotal here. We'll go and look at the models. And so the first model we're going to look at is going to be the HRRR. And let's see if I can, oh, whoops. Let's refresh this page. So here's the HRRR, and we'll go to the 16Z HRRR run, which is basically 1 p.m. So this is the 1 p.m. run of the HRRR. And so this shows you have scattered showers across the area, maybe some thunderstorms, but overall, not really a very potent line moving through Mississippi. I think you might have the chance at some severe thunderstorms, specifically in like South Mississippi and maybe the I-20 corridor. But overall, I think that's where your biggest threat's going to be in terms of damaging winds. But overall, not seeing really anything that's really standing out to me as being, oh, like a big tornado threat or like a big hail threat, because those threats just aren't there tonight. Maybe some damaging winds across this line as it moves through South Mississippi and Central Mississippi. But overall, I still think that risk is fairly low. And so one thing I want to point out is that the run from this morning of the HRRR was a way more potent line moving through central and southern Mississippi. This was the run earlier this morning. And so, really, the HRRR has really downgraded its risk with the system tonight. But I'd still say be ready, because sometimes you just don't know what these systems are going to do. But overall, I still think the tornado risk is fairly low. And so here's one thing I want to look at is the surface-based cape. And so I think this system actually has a good bit of that fuel that we talked about. But a lot of the fuel is going to be taken up by these afternoon thunderstorms that are popping up like the spring showers. Because whenever you have this much instability in the atmosphere, I mean, what is this? This is roughly 2,500, 3,000 joules per kilogram of cape. And so that's a lot of cape. That's a lot of instability. But one of the issues that we're going to see tonight, if I pull up a sounding here and go a little technical into this, the wind shear does not look all that great with this system. So you have plenty of energy, but just simply not enough wind shear there to produce a big severe weather event. And so let's plan that out. Let's see when these storms are going to move through. Because timing on this is a big thing in terms of when to really get prepared. Because, I mean, you're going to have scattered thunderstorms move through. This is the radar image estimated for, I believe this is 6 p.m. So this is the 6 p.m. estimated reflectivity. And so you're going to have showers and thunderstorms across Mississippi, kind of sporadic. But that line doesn't really get formed together until about, let's see, this is sitting at 10 p.m. At 10 p.m., that line starts moving through southwest Mississippi and moving through central Mississippi as well. It's kind of hard to know where exactly this line will form because really this is showing the line being fairly weak up until it reaches central Mississippi. But this is sitting at 10 p.m., so I'd say be ready in central and southern Mississippi for this to move through probably about 8 p.m. or so, and then moving through the nighttime hours. So this is sitting at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. that line moving through, starting to move through the Pine Belt, really has moved through southwestern Mississippi at that time, but this line already looking weak by about 1 a.m. So the timing on it's going to be after sunset, and then it will completely move out of Mississippi by about 6 a.m. on Sunday. Really, like I said, I'm not expecting this line to be too strong. So that's a good thing. Overall, loose timing on this is going to be, let's see, 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. for some scattered showers. I'd say 8 p.m. for some stronger showers and storms. But then when we get to midnight, that line's sitting right over, this would be like over Forest, over Scott County, over Columbia, over Collins. That's kind of where we're seeing this sitting at midnight. But overall, by the time this storm gets into south central Mississippi, it's already broken up and looking a little weaker. And so that's why I'm not really able to give you such good timing with this storm, because the storm's kind of weak enough where you don't have just a strong line moving through. It's just it's going to be kind of scattered. We're just going to have to play it by ear. It's kind of weird. It's a weird event. But back to the risk, like I was saying, I'm not too concerned with this. Usually you'll know when I'm concerned with a system. This system does not really look all too impressive to me. I do think that there are some thermodynamics there for this system, but overall, I mean, the wind shear is not there to really support robust thunderstorms. And so I think we'll see some gusty winds, maybe a few trees down is possible. But overall, I don't think this is going to be a widespread. I don't think this is going to be a widespread severe weather event. What is the strongest possible weather with this event? The strongest possible, I'd say it's possible that maybe one storm, maybe two, could maybe get up to 70-mile-an-hour winds, and then maybe a little bit of hail. I think that we will see hail with these storms. But the question is, will we get severe hail? Because a lot of storms have hail with them, and hail does not automatically mean a severe thunderstorm. I think we'll see plenty of these storms possibly get like pea-size hail or maybe half-inch size hail, but I don't know if we'll really see any storms get to the 1-inch hail, which is quarter-size hail. But overall, I think maybe one storm can get to maybe 70-mile-an-hour winds. Heck, we might not even see one storm get to 60-mile-an-hour winds. It's really going to be one of those hit or miss systems. But I'm leaning towards the side of this is going to be a weaker storm. But definitely be ready for wind gusts anywhere from 40 to 50 miles an hour, maybe half-inch size hail. I think that's fairly likely tonight. But some of these storms could definitely get the weak severe characteristics. That's kind of what I'm going with here. I don't think this is a very big system to worry about. This is going to be nothing like that slight risk we had on Valentine's Day. And like I said, I don't even know if I'll be live for this system tonight. I mean, I'll be here on standby, ready to cover it because I think everything needs covering. Just in terms of, hey, what's the timing on these things and everything. But, you know. But anyways, a nice little we're gonna get rain tonight, and so that's good. That's one thing we really need across Mississippi is some rain, and so I think that's one thing we'll all be grateful for. Sure, there's a small chance that some areas get severe weather impacts, but overall, this is not going to be a major severe weather event by any means. But anyways, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask, um, and I'll answer those, and then I'll be done with this live update, and we'll start getting ready for a possible live stream tonight. Just not sure um how needed a live stream will be tonight. What's gonna happen in Neshoba County? I think Neshoba County across that I-20 corridor is probably in a. I think Neshoba County a little farther north towards the I-20 corridor. I'd say honestly your risk is probably a little lower. I wouldn't expect too much to happen up there in Neshoba County. I mean, maybe you get some gusty winds tonight. Overall, I think the highest likelihood is going to be anywhere from 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts with maybe half-inch size hail. Um, Maybe your normal thunderstorm. But I think there's a small risk that maybe you get some severe impacts there in Neshoba County. And so overall, just remember, let's remember what technically severe weather is. Everybody, severe weather is 60-mile-an-hour winds. Really, it's 58, but the warning gets issued for 60-mile-an-hour winds, uh, inch size hail, which is quarter size hail, and then also a tornado being possible. Those are your three severe weather characteristics. And so if we don't hit those, um, we don't get severe weather. But I definitely think we will see probably a few of these storms have characteristics a little bit under severe weather standards, with maybe one, two, three storms getting to severe weather characteristics. So that's what I'm looking at tonight. Maybe a few severe thunderstorms, but for the most part, most of those are going to be under the severe limits. But anyways, I think that's all I have for right now. I'll try to get ready for the severe weather tonight. Probably actually about to go fishing, so um, just gonna enjoy the day up until the weather starts moving through. And I think that's what you all should do. Keep an eye on the radar. Make sure no pop-up showers, maybe a quick thunderstorm gets you this afternoon. But overall, like I said, the severe weather, I really think the main brunt of severe weather is going to be for areas near the I-20 corridor and south, and that's going to be later tonight. So anyways, I hope y'all stay safe, and thank you for choosing Magnolia State Weather. I am student meteorologist Ashton Champion. Have a good weekend, and make sure you have a good Easter if you don't tune in tonight. And God bless.